Good morning. How are you today? Um, this page or this video that I'm creating is about a bad relationship. It's about how a man can endure a toxic, bad relationship. Me personally, I'm not into this. I'm not into getting online and telling my business, but a friend of mine said I should try it. Maybe it'll be therapeutic. Anyway, today is the 16th. I would say about 3 days ago, um, soon to be my ex approached me and told me that she was leaving. Throughout this process, I'll be giving you more backdrop information on the current situation. Yeah, she said to me that she wanted to talk. And me, I'm the kind of guy, I don't like to linger on it. So I'm asking her, okay, what's going on? She tells me that she wanted to talk and she's leaving on the 1st of April. At first I felt kind of as if I was missing out on something. I felt like dejected. I kind of felt um, like, how dare you? That was my initial response. How dare you? Oh, you damn, you're just leaving. And it soon came over me that that was my wish, that she left. That truly inside, after all the experiences that I have experienced with this woman, I agreed that it was time for her to leave. Countless days, years, months of just putting up with bad behavior and constant. Uh, I don't even have the name for some of the words that a woman can do to a man, that can do to him mentally. Um, this story or this chronologization of experience that I've had is embarrassing. And most of the things, and this is one of the reasons why I choose to remain anonymous, and for the purpose of this video, I'll just name my name Todd. My name will be Todd, and her name will be Leah. Todd and Leah. I'm a veteran. I consider myself a strong man. A veteran. I've been around. I worked in corporate. I worked in the IT field in particular. And I also had a side hustle as a bouncer, extracurricular activities. It's always good to bring in extra money. And this person, what her field is pretty much her field of work was working at fast food restaurants, just making sandwiches. And I'm not trying to put that down, but that was what she did. She makes sandwiches at restaurants. And this situation goes back years, man. It just come to a head where she's actually telling me that she's leaving. After further analysis, I thought to myself, well, this is what you wanted, isn't it? You've been wanting her to leave, but she wouldn't leave. Taking in consideration a woman that paid no bills, not one bill, didn't pay any taxes, mortgage, didn't pay electricity, didn't pay, every now and then she would, pitch in for food. I'm not gonna totally say she never paid for anything. But overall, she didn't pay for anything. It was a free ride. And then she tells me that she's leaving. And like I said, in the coming videos, I will reveal more and more information, but I want to chronicleize this. So she wants to leave on the 1st, today is the 16th. I have so many things in my mind that I want to change. But I've been forced, honestly, the whole game plan is just to be as quiet as possible. And I'll start now to give you a little backdrop. About a year ago, I had a stroke. So my whole right side of my body is numb. Thank God I have mobility. The stroke wasn't as bad as I've seen others. Really just almost like the Tin Man need oil. That's kind of how I feel on the right side of my body. Everything looks normal, but I have some walking, some movement and abilities, and I have also sensations of numbness where I don't feel anything. So it's hard to judge a feeling or a step because you just don't have feeling. So I'm not going to get too much into that, but that's pretty much my situation. Exactly a year and a couple months, I had a stroke. I suffered a stroke. Now, there's certain things that I looked at. I remember having a stroke, and I remember seeing her there because I had called her from her job to come and assist me because I knew something wasn't right. I didn't know it was a stroke at the time. I just thought maybe kind of felt like I was tired, like I wanted to lay down, So I called her to the scene to assist me. Upon paramedics and upon ambulance, they felt that it was time for me to make it to the hospital. Once I got to the hospital, I was then flown to another location where basically they had given me advanced treatment for stroke patients. So let's just say for about 2 months, I was gone. 2 months I was in rehab. I had to, get with doctors, learn basically how to walk again, and get my nerves rewired back into use. And I noticed that there was when I recall looking into my girlfriend's face, there was no emotion. There was no crying. At that time, I felt vulnerable. Even men need attention, man. Don't get me wrong. But I called on my lady, and it just didn't feel that. I didn't see a tear. I didn't see any kind of haste, or almost in a way like I was like, damn, I am having a stroke, but it is what it is. So let's fast forward up to now. So basically, she came to me. Oh yeah. Number 2, living arrangements. She changed the living arrangements. We both slept downstairs in our basement. And I also had my mom too, because she had Parkinson's. She had Parkinson's and she also had Alzheimer's. So, we were joint in effort to take care of her. My mom. Her mom had already passed away her sisters had taken care of her mom, who had fell ill and eventually had expired. God bless her heart. So, and where I lived, we lived together, and we also took care of my mom, who basically, I guess it was like a hospice, but it wasn't a hospice. It was just us doing what we had to do. After I had the stroke, I was able to stay home and assist my mother with taking her medications and things like that. As far as fixing her breakfast, fixing her lunch, and so forth. And so just imagine how you're no longer working at the office. You're no longer working as as well. I worked in IT as well during the day, but I had a side hustle of being a bouncer. So you're no longer able to do those things because of the stroke. You're unable to move around like you used to. You're just unable to do it, man. You need assistance. And one of the things I noticed, the change in the relationship, was the assistance. It's almost like she was like, she didn't, I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, and the only way I can, like, she didn't really give a fuck about me having a stroke. That's what it felt like. It felt like I was on my own. She would say little things like, if I asked her for assistance, you're being lazy. You can get up. You could do that. Eventually I did get strong enough to get up and do some of the things that you would normally need help with for a person that's had a stroke. But eventually I did heal so that I could take care of myself. So I started noticing she wasn't cleaning. It was almost like, she just didn't give a fuck. To be quite frank with you, she would go to work all day. She would be at work from 5 a.m, come home at 8, and still remember. She says she's leaving on the 1st. Today's the 16th. So what she does is basically she comes home and she goes downstairs. So eventually we grew apart. Imagine, a whole year and some change where you don't sleep with your lady. You eventually grow apart. And I started noticing that, as far as intimacy, I wasn't getting that. I wasn't getting it. It just wasn't happening for me. As a man, that's kind of, it can be kind of embarrassing because of the mere fact that in my situation, I had a stroke. So it's not like you can just go to the club, or just go somewhere, hang out, find a new friend, and have new times. And so I would say for about the next 2 years, we had arguments. But remember, before I had the stroke, we already had arguments. But it just seemed like after I had the stroke, it was like, yeah, everything that she ever wanted to get back at me, she could do it. She felt like she could run over me, say what she wanted to say out of her mouth, be disrespectful towards me. Already everything was an argument. Anything. There's no criticism that I could. Criticism has turned out to be a harsh word. Criticism just used to be what it was. Criticism, just someone giving pointers on something that can make you better. So that those were called criticisms. In today's line, criticisms are insulting. And it appears, especially for women, they don't want to be told what to do. They don't want to be corrected. They don't want to be, they just don't want to be corrected. They don't want to hear shit. But anyway, back to the story. So I started noticing things like when it came time for meals and she didn't want to cook. She made it known that she didn't want to cook for me. Now just think about all this. I'm ingesting all this now because you're now telling me this now after I've had the stroke. You don't want to cook. You don't feel like cooking. I started to see change in her demeanor. Her clothes would change. Her hair would change. She started putting lights on her vehicle. And I didn't really think anything of it because I can't drive anymore because of the stroke. And although I truly believe that I will make, right now I'm probably about 85%. Like I say, I still have some tremors due to the stroke and on the right side, which gives me, like I said, right side residual. It's only on the right side. The left side is perfect. That's a process. You got to build strength. You got to get stronger. And it seems like she's leaving before I got stronger. In her mind, if I raise my voice, if there's any kind of argument where basically I want to say that's not right, or this is my opinion, or that's an argument. That's not even like a conversation. It's an argument. Anything that goes against what she wants at the time, it can't even be consulted. If it's consulted, it's an argument and seen as an insult. I'm just telling you the reactions that I noticed, that I'm able to articulate. Some people go through relationships and they're unable to articulate what exactly they're experiencing. So it turns to mumble jumble. But once you're able to articulate, because see, years back, I started paying attention to her because I was noticing that there was always an argument. Always an argument. It got to the point where I was shut down, where I didn't even want to talk to her because everything was just, I no longer had, it seemed like I didn't have a woman. I had a competitor, someone that wanted to compete against me, drive faster than me, tell me how to get there. I already know how to get there. But she wants to, explain these ideals. I really don't know from what angle she was coming from. I just thought to myself, like, why is this woman always antagonizing me? Why is she always going against the grain? That's what it was. It was like a person that just almost like she hated to be in the situation. Keep in mind, once again, she's not paying any bills. She's not required to do anything but to show up once a day. Show up. Good morning. Keep in mind, I've been sleeping upstairs for over a year because of my stroke, but my girl didn't move upstairs with me. Just, her excuse would be that the bed hurts her back. She can't sleep in that bed, and I'm just taking this in, like, because I'm not stupid, but at the same time, I needed her, right? Okay, I needed her assistance. I needed her help. My mother, like, once again, had Parkinson's. Now I am a recovering stroke person. So a year ago, I was much weaker than I am now. Every year it's like 100% better. So assuming that, I can move everything. I have mobility. It just, I have pain with it. It's like something is healing. You know that it's healing. Up to your spine, all the way down to the crack of your ass. You just feel like it's something that was ripped and that's healing. That's what it feels like. I don't know. I know it sounds crazy, but so her telling me that she was leaving, I was saddened. But then I remember saying to myself, but this is what you prayed for. This was countless nights of just, it was a weird situation because even though I wanted her to leave, I could use the assistance with my mom, there needed to be another woman to bathe her. I started finding myself making breakfast, lunch, and dinner by myself, man. Like, the girl wouldn't come home till 9 o'clock at night from her job. She still doesn't. Remember, the countdown really started about 4 days ago, but I'm starting today. And I just wanted to talk. I ain't asking for nobody's judgment, and I'm not asking, for anybody to be on my side. I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to tell somebody, tell something. You know, I won't give my real name. I won't give my real location. But I just wanted to tell somebody, I don't know if what's to come of this, but I do know that I want her to leave. I want to be able to, I want to live this life. I'm ready to just do it by myself. I don't need any intervention from a female at this point in my life. The only thing I need from a female is her companionship. I couldn't even get a companionship from my girlfriend. Do you see how it is after, you have a stroke and after you're not, well, at least she thinks I'm not the same as I was before the stroke. But I feel recovery. And I want her to continue to think that I'm not recovering. I want her to continue to think that everything is sweet. I can't wait till she leaves. April 1st. There's so many things I have in store. There's so many things I have planned. It's basically, she doesn't know I feel this way. What I choose to do is keep my mouth shut, not have any problems, not argue with her. I just want her to leave. I want her to get out. I know that sounds bad, and I know it doesn't. But in her mind, she thinks she's leaving to move in with her daughter. Now, the reason why I know this is because I know that the young man that her daughter was with is no longer there. So he left. Then she revealed to me a couple weeks back that she was paying half the rent over there. Like, come on now. As soon as I heard that, I started thinking to myself, well, in a relationship, you would have a discussion with a person over something that takes the money, right? You would have a discussion. You would say, hey, I'm going to pay half of such and such's rent, and I want her to be. And the whole time it sounds like I'm a sucker, right? It's just because I'm listening to this shit and I'm tolerating this shit, and it sounds like I should say get the fuck out, but I needed her assistance. She knows that. Oh yeah, I know she doesn't like it. I know it bothers her that my mom is an ailment. I know that it bothers her that my focus is on my mom's safety and because see, my mom passes out and fall. Yeah, man, it's just more than I ever could have imagined that you would go through. But your parents get old, and someday you will have to take care of them. And I've chosen to stay by my mom. I see disdain in her. I see that she doesn't, although she tries to help. I'm not saying she doesn't help my mom, but I can see that it bothers her. She wants to go out. Here's a woman that'll complain about not going anywhere, but works. Like, you work every day. Your schedule says you work every day. But you're complaining to me as if I am not taking you out. As if and this is before I had the stroke, I had this issue with her. And I would try to talk to her and try to extract information to have a better resolve. But none of that worked, man. This is a goon, okay? And I will open up more and more about the character. But I just wanted to start by saying, today is my chronological date of March 16th. And I just let her go, man. You know how they say you could do bad on your own? That shit applies to men too. It's certain women feel like, I don't know, it's a fairy tale. They think it's something out here, man. They think that it's, listen, before I met her, I've been in the streets. I mean, as far as dating, I know what goes on. I mean, I kind of know how the dating scene goes, but I guess it's been 10 years, so maybe I don't know. But I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to get her ass right up out of here on day one. As soon as she leaves, all accounts are closed. everything. At the end of the day, the pluses and minuses I look at, there's nothing she offers me. But she leaves here as if, she feels good about her situation. I guess, it feel good to get out there and put a new wig on and some new jeans and shit and feel that your funky ass is something great. So I'll be back tomorrow and I'll have more about this situation. So, all right, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.